Hello, everybody. Today we have a very special guest, Jennifer Swanson. Thank you, Jennifer, for joining us today to share your story with us. So, who are we going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about my grandma, Nancy Lesniak.
Great. And how would you want me to address her during the interview?
We all just call her Gram,
Graham?
Gram. So you can call her Gram or you can call her Nancy.
Graham sounds great. Right. So, tell us about Graham.
So Gram was born in 1941. She was the oldest of 6 or 7 children. She grew up here in Kenosha, Wisconsin on a farm with her parents. And she was the oldest of a bunch of girls. So she got the great pleasure of being the one that actually worked on the farm with her dad. So she would tell us stories of, throwing hay bales and milking the cows and doing all of this really horrendous sounding manual labor at a very young age. And she eventually went on, she was waitressing. She met my biological grandfather, Bill, who is my mom and my aunt's dad. And then a few years later, she met my grandpa, Poppy. They got married in 1972, and he's the one who, for all of my life, was my grandpa. So when I talk about Poppy, this is my grandfather, my mom's stepdad, my uncle's biological dad. So they loved adventure, and I think that's kind of where I get it from. They were the crazy couple that would go on motorcycle rides across the country. They would just ride their motorcycles to Mount Rushmore by themselves, no big deal, just up and leave one day. And they'd go to Disney. They'd do all of these amazing things. And they were getting ready to start thinking about retirement. They were like, oh, we're going to move to Florida. And then I was born. And like probably many grandparents, those decisions no longer became about just them. And obviously they stayed in the area because they wanted to be around me. And I'm very, very lucky. Graham was always around. My mom, my aunt, they both worked, raising kids, their husbands, everybody worked. So when we weren't with, a babysitter in the morning, we were with Graham and Poppy. And we were really lucky. She was an accountant from home. So she worked a lot during, a short amount of time during the year. And she was able to always be there for us. And the earliest things that we remember is it'd be the second oldest cousin, my cousin Jimmy, and I would be there, and we'd watch Disney movies and eat popcorn and stay up way too late playing board games, like the Life, Hungry Hungry Hippos, the craziest stuff. And it was always just filled with love. Like I feel so bad for people who don't have that kind of connection with their grandparents. And as I got older, I realized that Graham was a very, very stubborn Midwestern woman. She had her ideals. She wasn't afraid to let you know her opinion. And I really respected her for that. There's a lot of people out there that are willing to sacrifice their own opinions and their own beliefs to try to not make waves. She shot on a billiards league for many, many years, in addition to bowling and golfing. And she'd been referred to more than once as a bulldog. She was a short woman, about 5'1". I felt very tall next to her, and she could be a little intimidating for a 5'1" woman, which is always very funny. And she was the glue for our family. Everyone would go to her house for the holidays. And then Poppy, my grandpa, was in a terrible motorcycle accident in 1998. He was wearing his helmet. He was wearing, his leathers. And had he not been wearing that helmet, he would have died on impact. Did you like this story? If so, please subscribe to this channel and like and share the video. Want more? Buy the book, Stories from the Edge of Life, available now on Amazon for more stories like this. All proceeds support Palliative Care Network, a nonprofit dedicated to alleviating suffering and improving the quality of life for patients facing end-of-life issues. Consider extending your contribution by donating through the link below. Thank you for your support.